right? I think that especially in the world of content creation, the importance of identifying and curating a specific brand to relay certain messaging is paramount. You see it with Anthony Edwards, for example, who's one of my personal favorite brands to follow. The authenticity for which he operates is incredibly admirable. The way in which his marketing scheme is drawn up to be both playful but yet also so self-confident is incredibly well done. And sometimes the PC way of operating, the politically correct way of operating amongst brands of we're going to continue to talk about our stuff, not necessarily their stuff. People love conflict and story and drama. And what I love what Adidas has been doing with Ant and his shoe rollouts and the strength of his brand rollouts in general, right? The marketing around it. It's interesting to see the curation in comparison to like a Shai Gilgeous-Alexander or a Luka, a Zion. Right? The ways in which these different brands are activating or not activating. You see now with Steph Curry, what he's been able to do on this recent sneaker free agent tour, he's able to showcase the strength of, I'm Steph Curry. These are the shoes on my feet. These are the impressions they're going to get. This is the resale value that goes. Like these are all measurable things, all because of his brand and the strength for which his brand is. Steph, the family man, the movie producer now, go see GOAT when it comes out in theaters, the best shooter of all time, the babyface assassin, right? There's so many little pieces to every person's brand that makes them that much more marketable and that much more staying power in the marketplace. And seeing Steph's journey, going from, which I always find ironic, is the Stephification of basketball has been well documented. But it's interesting how the rhetoric started with, he's just so small, he's like anybody can do it, blah, blah, blah. The man's 6'3". Everybody can't do that. Yes, is analytically a 3-point shot worth more than a 2-point shot? And numbers could tell you that? Sure. Everybody can't shoot like Steph Curry. Anthony Edwards maybe. But everybody can't shoot like Steph. But the strength of that brand messaging of babyface assassin, David versus Goliath, the haves and the have-nots for these physical attributes, right? In terms of LeBron James, a 6'9", 260, 280-pound freight train of a person. And then you have Steph Curry. Is the narrative that was generated. And because of that brand, and especially because of the back and forth in the finals with those two, you saw this ascension of kids in the 2010s and 2020s having the same affliction and affiliation with Steph Curry as kids in the 90s did with Be Like Mike. Now the difference is that the Jordan brand, or the Be Like Mike, was specifically tied to that Nike shoe. With Steph, while he had a very well-documented line of shoes with Under Armour, I don't think that they ever got the appreciation that they deserve from a market share standpoint. So as he is now a sneaker free agent, it'll be interesting to see if he's able to continue this assimilation of be like Steph, and anybody can go in the gym and be like Steph if you try hard enough. You don't have to be the biggest, you don't have to be the strongest, even though you do have to be big and pretty strong and an incredible endurance. That's what they don't talk about. That's for a different day. But it'll be interesting to see how he carries that brand strength over. Keeping the IP of the Curry brand, I think it'll be huge. Maybe he drops it. Maybe there's Kerr 3 coming. There's a multitude of different things that he could do with his own personal brand to tell a story and to elicit emotion. And the following that he's created, because it's been so tailored and authentic to who he is and the story that he tells, is such an impactful one for anyone that hears it. It'll be exciting to see where his brand takes off to. And I think that's one of the biggest things for me too with everyday content creators, is you have to identify and figure out what your personal brand is. Now, is everyone going to be Steph Curry? Unfortunately not. Does that mean you don't have an opportunity to create the next big podcast, create the next big cooking show, be the next big DJ, create the next clothing brand? There's unlimited resource of what you're able to do. How would you match it up with your own personal brand? The more authentic you're able to tell a story and reverberate that story and live that brand, the more opportunities will come across and come to fruition. As long as you just continue to create, tell the story,